Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Had to get some tuxedo pants tailored because I have 2 black tie things this month or this fall, and the only tuxedo I have is the one I got married in. And it's fine. It's just a little distinctive in that it's blue with a black lapel, and I feel like everyone's going to know. Hey, if it was just a normal black tuxedo, they wouldn't be like, hey, you got married in that thing 11 years ago. But so I got a different one.
You bought a new tux or you're renting
Well, I
one?
bought one, but there's one suit company that is pretty cheap that fits me pretty perfectly. And if I get tailored a little bit, it looks good. I'm not a big materials guy. If it fits the right way, it looks good. So I bought that. So I have that now. Cost me $200. Was worth it.
Not bad.
Yeah.
The things that I put off for maybe years.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor. Car wash. Let's see if there's more. There's some things.
Car wash I'm legendary for. When we were in North Jersey, there was one like literally quarter mile from me. It kept me going there because it was close. I would pass it. But car
How
wash
often?
is a good one. Me?
Yeah.
Once a month. Yeah.
Pretty
I got a new car. I'd never bought a new car before. So I was like pretty proud of it or whatever. So I keep it clean once a month, I think.
My philosophy of it's like very teenage philosophy of me being like making your bed. It's like, it's just going to get dirty again.
Yes. Well, that's a good point.
I'm not even arguing it. I'm not saying I just can't bring myself to ever really give a shit.
I feel so good right afterwards.
I don't even dispute that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I just can't bring myself to go
do it.
there. There's such limited time in the world.
Yeah.
And I never want to allot that time to being at a car wash.
Tailor, totally worth it. Once you realize that having your suits fit correctly is like secret to looking good.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I'll keep like a list of things I have to do, and it's like that's just like permanently on there, like etched in stone, like hieroglyphics in my notes of things to do because of how long it's been there.
All right. Let's do a show here.
Let's do a show.
On the show today, what will it take for us to have good vibes Sixers in the 25-26 season? Probably nothing. Maybe we'll have to die maybe. Plus, we get to see what kind of arm VJ Edgecombe has as he threw out the first pitch with the Phillies. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by Briggs Auction, the official auction of the process at briggsauction.com. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Get yours at barkerbeds.com/Ricky. Anthony Degli Obizzi, the official financial planner of the Ricky. Text the word Ricky to 484-471-4873. Ethos Support, your customer support should not suck. Fix it at ethossupport.com/Ricky. And Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of this podcast. We got this note from Earl. Mike, Earl says, my wife, Mary McElroy Hazel, is about to turn an age she'd probably prefer I whisper rather than announce to the internet. 58. Oops. As a longtime listener of the pod and diehard Sixers fan, she will absolutely lose her mind if you gave her a birthday shout out. We raised 3 boys, Ethan, Phelan, and Tegan, now 31, 28, and 25, on a steady diet of the pod and the beautiful chaos that is Sixers fandom. I'm from Philly. She's from Jersey. We raised the kids in Lancaster County before they scattered down the East Coast. No matter where we are, the pod has been our family group text unofficial soundtrack. Her birthday was sweet. August 26th. So
very sweet. Happy birthday, Mary.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Earl,
Mary.
You know the deal.
Yeah. How about that? Raising your kids on the podcast.
$100 to me.
Child Protective Services. They did make Earl made a Bark in the Park donation. So
well, not as fun as when you actually do it.
Yes. Yeah. So
Happy
you
birthday,
could send
Mary.
us money
Very
too.
exciting.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mary. I bet you're a good person. That's my bet based on the way that Earl described you. Could be a horrible person. Actually, I have no idea, but I would hope you're a good person. Happy birthday nonetheless. even if you're a bad person. Only good people drink Surfside iced tea and vodka. Actually, that's a lie. Probably plenty of bad people do. But that said, boy, what a tasty drink. I did, yesterday was my first day of no fast, and I did have a little tomato pie, and I had a strawberry and lemonade Surfside. Ooh, boy, those went really good together. There are so many different varieties of Surfside. They only have 100 calories. They're the right amount of sweetness. Some of those things, way too sweet. Surfside, not. Just none of them have any bubbles. Why would they? It's iced tea, it's lemonade. Not supposed to have carbonation. Drinksurfside.com is where you go if you can't find it at wherever you get your canned cocktails, or if you just want to peruse their merch, stuff like that. You got to be 21, and please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome, one and all, to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who could beat Alec Boehm in a foot race running backwards. That is one Mike Levin.
I do think that.
Yes,
Maybe not
I think
backwards.
so too. Yeah.
How you gonna have all those long legs, not be able to use them?
It's pretty unbelievable.
Crazy.
Doesn't get home on a double if he's on first base. It's unbelievable.
It's hard to do.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Phillies, our own VJ Edgecombe was at the Phillies game last night, was throwing out a first pitch. And we have two videos here. One, this is the official first pitch video. The one I like better is the one after we show the first pitch video, is the one that Sixers Adam shot with him having a catch with somebody. Here is our own rookie VJ Edgecombe throwing out the first pitch at last night's Phillies game in the hideous City Connect jerseys.
Yeah. In a win, though.
In a win.
To note.
Yes.
No Sixers curse.
Nope.
Just yet.
There he goes.
Pitch looked good.
Yeah.
A little outside. A little high and outside, but
he got it there. He got it there.
Looked athletic, looked professional. Nothing embarrassing. My parents were at this game.
Okay.
My parents for their 37th wedding anniversary.
Oh, happy wedding anniversary.
And I like seeing VJ there. I like him being a part of the community.
Yeah. Well, underneath his hideous City Connect jersey was a Sixers t-shirt with the old logo on it, with the black and gold logo on it that people had noticed. Tiny little logo in the middle there was shown. So here is some video that Sixers Adam shot of him having a catch. Now, the reason I like this is you can tell when somebody's having a catch whether they've ever had a catch before. And he throws a baseball like there's so many athletes that throw out a first pitch that are like great athletes and don't know how to throw a baseball, which is amazing to me. But VJ Edgecombe, he said he had played in the Sixers Adam article that he played second base and outfield when he was younger. He's just having a catch like a normal person. I love watching him.
He's not really stepping towards it a little bit. I could use a little bit more of a lead foot. He's sort of just giving you arm.
That's for sure. But he's not throwing awkwardly.
No. He can definitely throw.
He can throw.
I can't tell if it's a I don't want to do the motion too much. I'm just sort of like tossing it, whatever.
Maybe it is.
Maybe if he backed it up a little bit more, he would have to step into it.
I did see some photos of him talking to Alec Boehm. I wonder maybe he could give him some tips on running faster. Yeah. As a tall guy. So.
It might be fun to see. I like a ceremonial first pitch. I like anything ceremonial at the beginning of a game.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see him like ceremonial, like run the bases. And
see how fast he could do it?
Yeah, run as fast as you can.
Yeah. Well, he'd get hurt, I'm sure.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Prefer he didn't do it.
Don't do that.
So, I let Mike bully me out of voicemails because he said something bad about him a couple of times, and we continue to get them. So I just wanted to do a couple voicemails to acknowledge the voicemailers that I do hear, and I do sometimes think they have some good thoughts. So we'll get a couple of voicemails. By the way, we'll get back to VJ Edgecombe and a couple of things that he said to Sixers Adam when we get to the good vibes portion of the pod.
Great.
The Sixers good vibes. MOC wrote, I thought, a nice little article about how the Sixers could have good vibes this year. And there's an Edgecombe quote that I think leads into a bigger picture thing. But we did get a few good voicemails to 833 Lickface. Here's the first one. Oh, man. This is on me. See? There we go. Let's try it again.
Hey, this is Tom. I just wanted to call because I just heard Mike on his rant against the term rock star, and I could not agree more. I work for a staffing agency, and the overuse of rock star is a plague over America, describing regular people, candidates, people just doing their jobs as rock stars. It's the most bizarre thing. Of all time, no, they're not. You send me a candidate, their marketing agency background, the person's still a rock star. Are they? Or are they just a person? Just don't use rock star unless it's a rock star. Could not agree with you more, Mike.
I did realize after I heard this that I'm sure you're not a big LinkedIn guy, and I'm not a big LinkedIn guy. However, I do check in once a week, and it's always, they love using Rockstar on LinkedIn.
Great. Rockstar candidate. Imagine hiring a rockstar candidate for a staffing agency. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, they're probably late all the time. They'd certainly be horrible with any sort of dress code, I would imagine.
No.
We got this one to 8.
Showing up late?
Yeah.
Showing up drunk?
Drunk, yep. We got this day, the guitar solos all over the place. We got this one to 833 Lickface.
Hello, guys. My name's Matt. My basketball question, just to get it out of the way, do you put any stock into the name of a player? It seems like, especially with quarterbacks in football, but with basketball as well, that if a player doesn't have the right kind of name, right sounding name, it's almost like he's way less likely to become a superstar. Whereas like you meet a guy named Tom Brady or something. Non-basketball question, something I've been thinking about. So the two of you, men of your particular vintages, seem to be more interested in history than you two seem to be. And maybe that's just an assumption based on you never bringing it up, and maybe privately you're really into the Civil War spike, or Mike loves, I don't know, the Spanish-American War or something. I don't know. But is that the case? I would love to hear player comparisons from Mike that range back hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. I think that would be interesting and a nice little hobby or pursuit for the two of you, since it would seem you have a ton of free time just based on the podcast. Anyway, thank you. Love you. Goodbye.
That's fair.
So first of all, to address the final point, hey, fuck you. This is not the only thing we do.
I think he's joking.
Oh, okay. All right, good. So the two questions: does the player's name matter, and do we like history? Which one do you want to do first?
I think the name thing is you sort of back into it. You know what I mean? Like if a player is good, then you think like, oh, what a normal, like Caitlin Clark is not like a cool name.
No.
Tom Brady, I would also say, is not a cool name. But there's plenty of names that are cool that are bad players. KJ McDaniels is a cool name.
Yes.
He should have been good. Based on
I also
name,
think seems to work for football best, or at least like whether it works out or not. A lot of times I'll see a name in football and I'll be like, that is a football name. But I don't really ever see that's a basketball name unless the guy's name is like, Jimmy Hooper or whatever or something.
Jimmy Hooper, that'd be good.
But there are good football names, I think. Right?
Yeah. I think so. I think there's a lot of cool. I think especially these days, kids people are naming people cool shit. VJ Edgecombe is a dope name.
Is an awesome name. We'll get to his history question right after we tell you about Briggs Auction. Oh, man, Briggs Auction has it popping right now. If you don't know about Briggs Auction, they are a family-owned auction house in Delco. But you don't have to worry about the fact that they're in Delco. And honestly, you could probably give a shit whether they're family-owned or not. It's just kind of a nice thing to say. The good thing is you don't have to go there. It's all online. You can download the app in Google Play or the App Store. Auctions every single week, a lot of them starting at $1, estate auctions, discovery auctions, specialized ones, which I think we might talk about in the CJ auction night of the week. But just everything from collectibles to art to furniture for your house. If you're looking to furnish a room, to clothing and jewelry and all that stuff. And they have a special one going on right now, which I think CJ is going to talk about in CJ's auction item of the week.
Yes, I opened it up this morning and I saw that there's a skate shop store. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the backstory on this, but I was scrolling and I saw this crew neck and I was like, okay, this pops. The logo is cool. It stands out. I looked at the price. The bid is $350 right now for this crew neck.
I got outbid on it.
So
I tried for this one and the hoodie. Yeah. And I couldn't. So the history behind Fairman's is that Fairman's is a skate shop in Westchester. It was pretty legendary that, like, especially with CKY and BAM coming out of Westchester, that like all the guys would go here and it became like this legendary skate shop, and it closed. I think it changed ownership maybe 10 years ago, but it closed last year. So there's autographed skate decks in here, really just awesome memorabilia. And I've been outbid on 3 different items in the Fairman's auction. I don't think I'm going to win anything, but
this says it's from 2005. Very sick. Obviously, there's a market for it. I'm more intrigued than anything, out of my price range, but this is a cool crew neck.
Yeah. The Fairman's auction is really cool. There's actually 2 auctions going on right now. The Fairman's sale closes September 4th, and the Discovery auction right now that's going closes September 5th. I would just tell you, download the app or check in on the website once a week. It's fun. I've won several items. I'm getting outbid on all the Fairman's thing, but I will say in the other auction, there's one item that I've got my eye on that I got a bid on. You can pick it up if you win. Open pickup on Saturdays. Make appointment during the week. They'll work with you on a shipper. And if you're closing your skate shop or you have stuff of value and you feel like an auction is the best way to go, you can't go to anybody but Briggs. So send an email to info@briggsauction.com. That is Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. As far as his history question, I don't have any interest in, now, no interest is going to make me sound like a moron. I'm really most interested in the things that happened from when I became sentient afterwards. So like when I talk about music, I was never really interested in music that came out before when I started listening to music in like 87 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, eventually I sort of got into, like, I listened to Pet Sounds and I'm like, oh, that's a cool album, or the White Album from the Beatles. But when I saw that meme going around about like guys and thinking about the Roman Empire, I couldn't relate because I don't think about history very often at all. Even in sports, I don't.
I would say I like history. I enjoy learning about it. I would say I'm bad at digesting it and retaining it, and then discussing really anything on a podcast that isn't the Sixers. Like, even if we started talking about the Phillies for a long time, the muscle I have is just talking about the Sixers on a microphone. You obviously do it more often with other stuff, so you're more comfortable with it. But I really change the subject too drastically for too long, and I will run out of juice on anything that is not the Sixers. I have a very bad memory for stuff. So I'm reading a book right now about it's called Bad Trouble. It's about a governor of Idaho got murdered in early 1900s. It's about like labor and the Federation of Miners and like some crazy shit back then. It's a really, really cool book. Pretty dense. Yeah. But I'm enjoying myself.
But you're never
Once I finish, I will forget everything.
Have you ever considered, have you seen the movie Memento?
Yeah, of course.
Have you considered just tattooing the information on you so you don't forget?
Yeah, no, I think that's interesting. Okay. I think it's an interesting way to do it. I mean, I would say long passages might be tough to tattoo. And it'd be tough. It'd be an interesting way to start my tattooing journey. Long passages from a book about a Idaho governor getting blown up in the early 1900s. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I think honestly the answer to his question is I'm just not that bright.
That's fair. I only get interested when it is weaved into entertainment that I enjoy. Sure. So I loved Oppenheimer. Like, I loved the movie. I saw it twice. And then it just shows the value of those things. I became more interested in the topic, or even the Chernobyl series on HBO made me more interested in the topics. But as far as just like learning about it, or that's why, honestly, a lot of like, when we get emails like, hey, could you do the best ever Sixers starting 5 or something? Like, I don't know. 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 I don't I don't feel like talking about Sixers players that played before I was watching the Sixers. It doesn't really interest me all that much.
I think I also named the book wrong. It's Big Trouble. If I said Bad Trouble, that's wrong. Okay. So
all trouble's
even
bad.
right there.
Yeah.
Even right there is right there.
One final voicemail to 833 Lickface.
Hey guys, this is Chris. I'm the one who called a couple of years ago asking about why Mike didn't invite Spike to his wedding. Just heard that CJ got engaged. Congrats. So the major question is, will Mike and Spike be invited to the wedding?
You don't have the comment. You don't have the comment, CJ. You just knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You had to know.
Reveal the guest list, CJ.
You don't have the comment.
We're in the planning process now.
You're planning it already. No honeymoon period post engagement. You're going right into it.
Discussions are happening, so we will. I'm sure I'll update the show at some point. But discussions.
Timing wise, when are you thinking? Are you like circling an area?
Probably like spring 27.
Spring 27.
Oh, we'll all be dead by then.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
God willing.
Wow. Yeah.
So we'll see.
There we go.
All right. The nation waits.
Could we give away an invite on the pod?
Does CJ invite us just to not have to deal with it and then hope we don't come? That is a classic invite tactic.
Yes.
But then sometimes you invite somebody.
Yep.
And they come.
Yep.
And then you're like, why the fuck did you come? You were just supposed to send a gift.
Yep. We had a guy at work, our video guy named Tucker got married and invited only like I think 4 or 5 people from work. Did not invite Ike or I. We both complained. And then we both said, wouldn't want to go anyway. It was like an hour away. Would have been completely miserable if I had been invited. But yes, there's always, I remember the horror when you have a limited number of people with your wedding and you're trying to do the math and then you do we'll invite this guy, but he'll never go. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes they go.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Before we get to Sixers optimism, I saw this tweet to the Ricky account, and I was wondering if you had any remembrance of this. Somebody tweeted about saying the name, that they always say the name, and I was like, in what context is this? And they said, here's the tweet, I met Mike Levin at the paper premiere last night, and it might have been the highlight of my career. Do you remember who this person is?
Yeah, of course. This is Charity. We talked for a long time. She works for Peacock.
Oh, okay.
She had messaged me earlier, I think a month or 2 ago, saying that she saw that I was on the show and that I was like, come say hi when you are. And then at the premiere, when I was a couple drinks in, she came over, talked to me, recognized Alyssa. We talked for a while. She was very sweet, said a lot of really nice things about her podcast. This guy that she was talking to introduced her to the podcast. She's not from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And she fell in love with the Sixers through us.
Wow.
And now just is deeply invested in not only the Sixers' success, but our happiness.
Oh, wow. How nice is that?
Yeah. So
did you see, nice. Was Tommy Alter at the party?
No Tommy, unfortunately. Or he was ducking me. There were a lot of people there, a few celebs.
Okay.
If Tommy was there, he would have been obviously by the celebs, so I would have seen him just by proximity. But no Tommy, no confrontation in front of all my coworkers. No, it was a very nice time. It's crazy. It's crazy how much they're promoting the show. I've never been on a show that is getting this promoted.
Yeah, Mia, our poet, sent a picture last night at CBP that there was a huge digital banner at CBP.
My parents sent me the same picture.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. There, all episodes, all 10 episodes, season 1 of The Paper, which is the Office spinoff, drop on Thursday, September 4th on Peacock.
There you go.
That is the same time. That is the same day of Eagles Cowboys Week 1.
Oh yeah, probably.
So they will probably be promoting the fucking shit out of it during Eagles Cowboys.
Yeah.
So obviously, for many reasons, I hope the Eagles win and are winning handily and comfortably, because sometimes when you promote something so much during a horrible game, then you will take it out on that thing that is getting promoted during the commercials and stuff.
Yep.
Which I would do as well. So hopefully the show is not a casualty of an Eagles disappointing Week 1. Although the Cowboys trading Micah Parsons in a fit of pique is probably a good indication that
good for that
Eagles
game.
are going to handle it all right.
By the way, I did get I believe, credible report that Tommy Alter had never been to the white party. Never got a white party invite.
Okay. You got it on a credible report that Tommy has never been invited to the white party.
Has never been to the white party.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you reach out to a person, or did the person just reach out to you apropos of nothing?
Person reached out to me, but it is a person. I don't want to identify who the person is. It is a person who I have a relationship with that you would know, who has someone in their lives that is reasonably close to Tommy Alter. I trust the information.
Okay, I have a bunch of questions.
I can answer without giving out the...
Sure. Does the person that reached out to you listens to the podcast regularly enough to to hear this and feel compelled to reach out to you?
Yep.
Is it the same person that said which executive in Philadelphia sports doesn't wash their hands after they pee?
Oh, no, it is not the same person.
Is it the same person that indicated to you why and lied to you that James Harden has a lot of sex?
Did not lie to me, and no, it is a different person.
Okay. Release the texts.
The text, yeah. By the way, just a quick reminder, the Bark in the Park team for Providence Animal Center, now it is live. Go to rightsrickysanchez.com/bark. Sign up for the team. You raise $50. You get the team shirt designed by Olivia Smith right here of Rebel. What a great shirt. And you help Providence Animal Center. The event is October 11th. You don't have to run, by the way. It's a 5K, 1 mile walk. I don't even care if you do the mile walk. Just sign up and raise money. All I care about is the animals being saved. Don't care much about whether you run or not. Though I think it's healthy and I think you should. So
somebody invite Tommy to the white party. Now I feel bad for the guy. It's the thing he wants the most in the world. That's the most Tommy plays on earth, and is he get invited? Ruben. There's a Charmeleon that needs your help. You should be tending to him. You should be inviting him, nurturing him even.
Well, do you think he would look at Tommy Alter as a potential
replacement
rival? Yeah, so he doesn't want Tommy Alter there because
I think he big bros him, puts his arm around him.
Oh yeah,
shows him how to throw a baseball. I think he should. I feel bad for Tommy. Somebody invite Tommy to the goddamn white party. That's bucket list item for Tommy.
Oh, come on.
Get him there.
You don't really care if Tommy goes to the white party.
I just think it's surprising that he hasn't been.
It is surprising. But I do trust my source. No,
I'm not disputing it.
Okay.
And though there's one source that I dispute.
Which is what, the sex one?
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. It's unfounded. I
work
for a journalism show, Spike. I skeptical. Inherent skepticism.
But you will not let me tell you off pod.
Tell them right here.
No.
There's 914 people listening to this right now on a Saturday morning. Tell me and them.
No, I'm not.
916. Tell me and them.
No, absolutely not.
And CJ, plus CJ.
No, I'm not. I will tell you off pod.
I don't want to hear it off pod.
CJ, have I told you? Have you asked me? Have I told you? I have not.
No, CJ has integrity.
I told Sixers Adam.
Respect our listeners.
Sixers Adam asked me. Told Sixers Adam.
Well, Sixers Adam has no integrity. We've known that for a long time, haven't we?
He doesn't. I was fighting with Sixers Adam about Nick Castellanos earlier today. Boy,
oh, he's awful. One of the worst players in baseball. Easily. Shouldn't be allowed on the field.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. You know, I'm happy that both our dogs sleep on Barker dog beds right next to each other, right next to our bed in our room. I do want to murder both of them because it's a 4-day weekend and I wanted to sleep until like 7:30 or something today. 5:56, like fucking clockwork. Classic. Not only are they up, they're jumping around next to me because it's time for breakfast. But every other minute of the day, I love my dogs. You love your dog too. And you want your dog to be as healthy for as long as possible. You want your dog to be as happy for as long as possible. And you can help do that. You help do it in a lot of ways, right? You help do it by taking them for walks, getting them the right food. Make sure they're sleeping on the right bed. Go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky. Barkerbeds.com/Ricky. There, you're not just going to get the same sort of dog bed you see when you go to the pet store or you see on Instagram or some fluffy little pillowy looking thing. What you're going to get is a real mattress that is going to support your dog's joints. Now, when I say mattress, it's not human size. You get whatever size is right for your dog, from the Barker Jr. all the way up to the XL. But you get something that was engineered by experts years ago and still is the standard in making sure that your dog has healthy joints. When they're young, keeps them that way longer. We've gotten a bunch of emails from people who had older dogs who started sleeping on a Barker and noticed a little bit of difference. There was a study done by Penn Vet that showed these differences, that reduction in pain severity, reduction in joint stiffness, all that stuff. If you go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky, not only do you get this excellent top of the line, great piece of I don't know, furniture, I don't know if it is, a great thing for your dog. What you also get is 2 Process Pup patches, a black and white one, a red, white, and blue one. You get some stickers. Send us a picture of your dog on the bed. They become a Process Pup forever. But most importantly, and by the way, it comes in all different colors, all different sizes, all different configurations. Looks great in the room. Doesn't look gross like a lot of these things do. There is a travel one. There's one for a crate as well. But what you're getting is something that is going to keep your dog healthier as they age, as arthritis sets in. Everyone always remarks that Rebel's 11 years old, but he runs around like he's 3. And the Barker bed he's been sleeping on for years now definitely has a part in that. It's a 10-year warranty. The foam doesn't flatten or they replace it for free. It's handmade in the USA. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Wow. It's a good article, I thought. That touched on something that I've been feeling recently from Mike O'Connor on writesrickysanchez.com. You can subscribe to all his writing for free by just going to writesrickysanchez.com/subscribe. Basically, giving 4 ways that the Sixers could have good vibes this year. And I think one of the worst things about the Sixers year last year wasn't so much that they were bad, that part sucked, is that they were such a bad hang. Like even the players that we liked, Maxey was a pretty bad hang last year. Nick Nurse was a bad hang. It wasn't until they gave up at the end of the year did the season even become tolerable. So I think more than anything, that's what I'm looking forward to this year. I've largely given up on any hope for a championship. That's pretty much gone, but having a successful season that's a good hang that we feel good about, I think is what I'm looking forward to. So what I'd like to do is go through the 4 things that Mike came up with and sort of rate them on a likelihood of 1 to 10 of how possible we think it is that they have the effect that we're looking for them to have.
Okay.
The first one is Jared McCain and VJ Edgecombe vibe-proof the team. Mike says, I'll just read a little blurb from each of these. Anytime I see someone put the Sixers in discussion of the teams that have the bleakest futures in the NBA, I have to wonder if they've simply forgotten that Edgecombe and McCain exist. If these 2 guys are as good as projected, no version of the Sixers for the next 5 years could really be that bad. How many teams have 2 players under 21 who are this good? On top of how good they are, they're both delightful to root for and watch. No matter how the Sixers guard rotation shakes out this year, these 2 might be both limited to 20-ish minutes per game. The flashes that we see from them should likely be enough to prevent them from ever truly hating the 25-26 Sixers. What do you think on this one?
I agree. I mean, I think unless something unforeseen and shitty happens off the court, these guys are fucking great, you know?
Yeah.
These guys are just a delight, a total treat. They play hard. They play different styles that should really mesh, I think. Mm-hmm. They're fun. They seem sweet, and they fucking ball. And so I think this is very likely to happen, even if Joel is out for a long period of time. The thing I would like to happen is for some of this infectious, fun type stuff to have an effect on Joel. I want to, if Joel's body allows, I want for that to get back to young, fun Joel stuff. Now that he has teammates that are good and fun and growing and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I find it unlikely, but it would be a nice effect of this to happen. I don't even need to say that. Of course, it's unlikely, but yes, it would be nice if that happened. Now, I think because
Joel's a dad now. He's got a kid. The kid's running around his kid. I mean, kid's what, 4, something like that. He starts treating VJ and Jared like they're his kids, and he's just rolls his eye. There's Lowry has that with Maxey a little bit. I would like Joel to participate a little bit more in those kinds of things.
Well, the crazy thing is that the difference in age between Edgecombe and his kid isn't that much further away from the difference in age between Edgecombe and Embiid.
It's a couple years, but not much. Yeah.
I mean, it's not much, it's that's crazy to think. So this next thing, and I want to talk about this and then the quote from Edgecombe that Sixers Adam got at Citizens Bank Park yesterday. So the title here is "The Organization Figures Out How to Decenter Joel Embiid's Health Status from the Daily Discourse." Mike says, "I can't properly emphasize how important this is. Regardless of whether Embiid plays 55 or 25 games, it is absolutely crucial that the team figures out how to make sure that the season isn't plagued by the inconsistent messaging, leaving the media to have to badger Nick Nurse on a daily basis in regards to what is happening with Embiid. Quote, what is happening with Embiid should not be a daily question we're all asking ourselves. A good way to get started on the right foot here would be for the team to properly communicate whether or not Embiid is participating in training camp. We shouldn't have to wait until the end of day one or later to find out if Embiid is a full go or not." I think he is spot on here. I think also that the Sixers, I think this is a crucial moment where they need to perhaps think less about their relationship with him and more about the health of the overall franchise and the kid gloves they have treated the information with. Obviously, they can't give out specific health information on him that they're not allowed to give out. But the whole he's playing, he's not playing, I think they have to start acting a little bit independent of what makes him happy, given the incredibly low likelihood of him contributing to a championship level team. And I think them doing this, I think not only forgetting about how we feel about it and how the fans feel about it, I think to a certain extent the players will feel, who are playing every day and who are busting their asses, will feel respected in that as well. So I think this is a pretty massive one, and I think it's one that the Sixers could accomplish regardless of where Embiid is in his health journey.
0% chance of it happening. It's gonna be
That's okay. I think it should happen.
I don't dispute that at all.
Yeah.
0% chance that it happens. 0%. It's going to be it could happen if Joel happens to be healthy for 55 games. Then it's like, oh, okay, he's there, he sits back to backs, whatever. He misses a week, whatever. I don't think, I have zero expectations for this being any different from what it always has been. And I think Daryl would never risk bothering, annoying, alienating his player, even if it's Joel at this stage of his career, in favor of appeasing a fan base. I just don't think he cares about shit like that.
Well, I don't think it's just about the fan base either. I think it is about the health of the team and organization. Yeah,
I agree.
Let me ask you this: if you could press a button, Joel Embiid medically retires, but with the awareness that you're aware that he is doing so, even though maybe he could have played. So the vagueness of whether he could play or not play is still there. We have no idea. He just does it because he's tired of it. Comes off the cap, disappears. We don't talk about it ever again. Well, in the respect that we do. Would you press that button?
No.
Okay. I would. And I think reading this quote now, I'll go through it this year, and I want him to succeed, and I hope he does. Though if that button were there, I would do it. There's this quote.
Well, let me just.
Yeah.
To me, it's I hear you in a healthy way, and this is sort of how you've always been, or at least been for a while, disregarding the potential of winning a championship. Mm-hmm. Reasonable,
sure,
healthy mindset.
Yep.
That's still what I'm in it for, and the small percentage chance that these younger guys get good enough quickly enough for Joel to get lucky, very lucky, and finally be healthy at the right time.
Can I tell you?
It's still worth doing it for me. And the alternative of he's just gone, and then we can do what with that space? That to me is still far less likely than winning a championship. I still think this is the best the best path. And I want it for not just us. I want it for him. Like I would, if he obviously in the medical red shirt or the medical retirement, he would be choosing that path. I think he still wants it and has something to prove, and I hope his body allows that. I just want it for all of us. I think narratively and like satisfying wise, like it would the upside, even as unlikely as it is still high enough that I would I'm fine living out the next couple of years where it's like, hey, we have young guys that are improving. You got old guys on the cap. Maybe one of the old guys finally is healthy at the right time and it all works out. And if not, at least you're still getting young guys improving. I'm not missing. I'm not the alternate reality. I'm just not missing.
Oh no.
I would miss it if Joel is gone. You know what
I mean? I understand your perspective on it. I don't think everyone should feel the way I feel. I want to be clear on that. I understand the other side. I think the only part of the math that you don't introduce into that is that it not only requires him to be healthy, but it requires him to show something in the playoffs that he has not really ever shown. So it requires him to be healthy for an extended period of time in the regular season, healthy for an extended period of time in the playoffs, which are both low percentage plays, but then also while in the playoffs, becoming a person and a player that we have not seen him. Now, we've had moments,
yeah.
But like, so I guess I figure all of those, again, if I just had the button, which I don't, so I will root for the best possible outcome with him there. I want to be clear, I'm not rooting for him to medically retire. That's not what I'm looking for. But I think if given all the infinitesimal chance that those things would happen, even in the best scenario, leads me to say like, I would rather just find something new.
Yeah, I think that there's an even smaller chance of them finding a guy that would allow them to compete at the levels that a healthy Joel plus the rest of the team would allow them to compete at.
I think that's absolutely fair and pretty much inarguable, by the way, like percentage wise, for sure. I'm talking about like life experience as well too.
I understand it.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez. Speaking of your life, the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by the official financial planner of the Ricky. That is my guy, Anthony. Anthony Degli Obizzi, his full name. If you would like to have a conversation with him, which doesn't cost you anything at all, just text the word Ricky to 484-471-4873. Anthony works at Monastra Financial Group. It's in Delco. I did not think about my future until I was in my late 30s in terms of saving and all those sorts of things. There were two reasons why I didn't do it. The first reason was I didn't know how to do it, and it was intimidating to me, and it seemed too hard. The second reason was I was like, well, I want to keep my money. I have to pay for rent, this, that, and the other. I can't save for the future. I want to keep my money. What Anthony does is take away those two concerns, and he worries about that while you just go on about your life. Planning for the future and putting money away, not only for retirement, but for savings in case something goes wrong, is really, really important. And it's not that difficult if you have like somebody like Anthony on your side. The great thing about Anthony is that he will keep you as involved as you want to be. You want to talk to him every day, he'll talk to you every day. You want to talk to him once a quarter, I usually check in with him once a quarter. If something goes on, maybe more than that, he'll do that. What he can help you do is line up your retirement, maybe life insurance, and then also maybe, hey, I want to keep money for now, and do it in the best way where you know you're going to be on track and you can set it and forget it if you want. And the second part, as far as like him worrying about those things, is having enough money to live your daily life. He is not a guy like a lot of psychos now that are like, take every extra dollar that you make and put it away and don't touch it. You can do that if you want, but he wants you to be able to live the way that you live now with whatever your lifestyle is now, but also have that put away for the future. Like if I like him, my wife feels comfortable with him. I feel comfortable with my future in his hands. And I think if you haven't done this, or if you're not comfortable with the person that you have, it's absolutely positively just worth the conversation. Text the word Ricky to 484-471-4873. He'll get right back to you, and then you can set up a conversation. Once again, Anthony Degli Obizzi, the official financial planner of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. The other thing that got me on the track with this particular question, and we'll get to the other two, is the quote from Edgecombe in a Sixers Adams article when he talked to him at Citizens Bank Park last night. So the first thing here is Sixers Adams setup and then the quote. So the setup, Tyrese Maxey is taking ownership of his role as the leader of the Sixers youth movement. He's turning 25 years old in a few months and is set to begin his 6th NBA season. But Maxey is the clear centerpiece of the organization's longer-term ambitions. He will need players like Edgecombe to reach their full potential to help him down the line. Many recent Sixers youngsters have lauded Maxey's leadership skills. What has Edgecombe experienced? And here's what VJ says. He is a great person, man. Like they said, he is a leader. That's true. He's a real leader, someone that's just looking forward to getting better every day in the gym. Helps us out, answers our questions, all that. It's been great getting to know him as a person. It's great that Maxey is doing that. My hope is that he feels comfortable doing that with the shadow of Embiid there all the time. That I think makes things difficult. I would hope that Maxey takes a step forward and says, hey, look, like to a certain extent, my team now, and these leadership things can't just be the offseason. They have to be the regular season too. And I don't think he was good that way last year. Like, I don't think he was setting a good example for the younger players in his play or his demeanor on the court. I understand his frustration as a human, but if he's ready to take that step, that's great. I think it's difficult with Embiid around.
I think that now that he's gotten paid, now that he had all of last year, I think and there's younger guys around him. I do think this is Maxey's team on a leadership level. And I don't anticipate as much. Obviously, we're not in there. We're inner workings. Who knows? But I think Maxey feels comfortable enough to be the most himself and sees the leadership reins of this team. And whether Joel's there or not, because Joel's so supportive of Tyrese, I think he knows that even just through Dotun's article in ESPN on Joel, the column, which was so great, I think Joel knows his shortcomings and would support Maxey doing those things himself and being the leadership center of the team. So I hope that remains the case.
I hope so too. So you would say that, and just, we don't have to 1 through 10 it. Let's forget about what I hoped with the Embiid thing. The Mike's thing, the organization figures out how to decenter Joel Embiid's health status from daily discourse. You say 0% chance of that happening?
I think it would help change the vibes for sure.
Yes, but
I'm saying happen. I don't think it will happen at all in any way that's materially different from how it has always been with Joel and the team.
What I would recommend to Nick Nurse, if we're in that world, is start every single press conference with a specific update on it and say you don't have any further information after that. Instead of waiting for somebody to ask you and pester you with questions afterwards, just lead with it. Do the fucking 8 Mile, Eminem 8 Mile. Here's the thing that you want to make fun of me for, but I'm going to say it before you say it. Don't make them ask you.
The classic 8 Mile tactic, Nick. Have you not? Yeah. You got to see this. You got to know. I'm
serious. If he brings it up and they can't, it disarms an uncomfortable part of the thing. Yep. And by the way, it acknowledges the realistic, the truth that they have to ask you, and it's a big deal. So.
I think that, and I think also having the awareness that everybody is frustrated. You are being the one that has to answer this, but the reporters are frustrated to have to keep asking about it, and obviously the fans are still frustrated that this is still the case. So we're all in it together in the bullshit. Obviously no one is more frustrated than Joel himself, but everybody is feeling it, and not to feel like you are the victim here, but we are all in it together of I really wish doesn't everybody that kind of and whether that's doing a little breathing exercise before you go out there and do it, that's fine, but that's part of the job. Part of the job of being a Sixers head coach. It always has been.
Yeah.
And you just gotta be better at it than you were last year.
Next one, 2 more. Paul George looks solid and resuscitates his trade value. It's really hard to overstate how important this Paul George season is for both the Sixers' present and future. I'm not exaggerating when I say that George being good this season will alter the course of their next half decade. For starters, it would be huge for the Sixers' young guards to be able to develop alongside a half-decent wing rotation that includes PG, rather than a bunch of undersized minimum contract guys. I want their developmental years to take place with a roster that makes sense, rather than one where they all forced into all sorts of weird roles. Secondly, if George can prove himself valuable enough to have roughly neutral trade value at the deadline or in the offseason, that would be a lifesaver for the Sixers' future. So, what do you think the chances are? Looks solid, resuscitates his trade value to neutral.
So I think that I anticipate that Paul George will have a better season. Like, it was offensively really hideous last year. Just the shooting regression back to his regular way should be fine. I don't think he's going to get to the basket a lot anymore. I don't think he's going to get to the foul line a lot anymore. His defense might start taking a step back a little bit, but there's no version why Paul George shouldn't be like the best kind of Robert Covington. There just isn't a version of it. Like a better passing, better decision making, better shooting, more fluid version of that kind of player. The issue, I think, is it's a narrow window. I think it's more likely that Paul George has a better season and the Sixers are more competitive with him, and Daryl isn't prone to trading that kind of player. Or Paul George has a very bad season, and they're not going to get anything for him anyway. And so I think it's a really, really super narrow window where PG plays good enough to have trade value again, but not so good that the team is good enough that Daryl would try to
not want him,
go for it and want him.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's all, by the way, tied into Embiid too. I mean,
of course,
Embiid being functional at all, I think, makes Paul George's stay here longer. Embiid not being functional, I think there's a chance they would pull the ripcord there, and if they had it with Paul George, and move on. And then the final one from Mike about ways that this Sixer season could have better vibes. One player from the fringes of the roster exceeds expectations. Purely from a vibes perspective, the idea of somebody like Trendon Watford or Jabari Walker coming in from the fringes of the league and establishing themselves as a real NBA player would be thrilling to watch. But really, the Sixers need that to happen for more than just the thrill. They're incredibly thin on the wing, and one of Watford or Walker becoming a real dude would help the roster seem more properly sized. If that does wind up happening, it would be a major step toward the Sixers being a serious basketball team rather than just an oddly balanced collection of young talent. This would be enormous.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's sort of looking at Trendon Watford to be that guy. I think having a big wing that can rebound, play physically, drive and kick, those kinds of things is going to be super helpful. I love Jabari Walker. I think it's unlikely that he pops in such a massive way. I think he's just going to be a nice rotation player. I'm surprised they got him as a two-way. I think at some point this season he will get bumped up to a standard rotation player, and I think he will be useful, but I'm not expecting him to unlock a different part of his game that he hasn't seen before. I would add Justin Edwards to this. I mean, he had a nice season last year in a really dark place. Him just becoming a true knockdown shooter, I think, and would really be helpful, and would really be even just, hey, my issue with Oubre is I've really loved his time here, except for the fact that he just hasn't hit enough shots. And if Justin Edwards gives you the stuff that Oubre gives you with a little less athleticism, but a lot more shot making from the wing and just quick decision making, smart decision making, then I think that would also be super helpful.
Yeah, I think they're going to have the opportunity to do it. I think that thinking about those guys, thinking about Watford and Walker, how small they are on the wing, just in general, their lack of those guys and the lack of a clear power forward on the team. The thought that even last year, there was the same issue last year. We were talking about who we traded to the Mavs, Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin or Kelly Oubre or whatever. There will be opportunity for those guys to play and look good in camp. And I would hope that Nick Nurse is open to just saying, if one guy looks good in camp and looks good in preseason, to giving that guy extended run and chance to to work with the team.
I mean, I think he could start. I think Trent Watford has a really good chance of starting on this team.
Oh, really? Like day one or just eventually?
I think day one. I think he's the right fit. I think there's no reason why you couldn't bring McCain, Edgecombe, Oubre, Edwards, Bona off the bench.
Yeah, I understand he's not going to start. That McCain's not going to start. I want McCain to start pretty badly.
I hear that. I think I really need Watford to have the kind of dynamic and really good two-man game with Maxey and McCain of like them using their speed and shooting ability off the ball to leverage his passing ability. Those kinds of things would be really, really huge.
Let's get to some emails. It's been a good email week.
CJ's trying to tell us something, Spike.
Yeah, I know. I told him in the chat. I'll hit it a little bit. He's a little early.
CJ, you son of a bitch.
I'm on it.
I'm trying to get you back, and you fucking
I'm on
get me like that.
I'm on it, Siege. I'm on it. Think about that when you're making those wedding invitations. This CJ, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, buddy. Whatever you want. Writes to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. This came from Jack. Hey, Spike, Mike, CJ, and Daryl. I write to you in a moment of confusion. Several times on recent podcasts, Mike has said something along the lines of, quote, if you're still with us at this point in the pod, or, quote, for those that are still listening. And his words here confuse me immensely. Are there actually people out there, so-called, quote, Ricky fans, that listen to part of or just the beginning of the individual podcast? I don't mean to sound like a gatekeeper. I think you guys want this community as open as possible. However, for me, the Ricky is my twice-a-week treat. I plan my day around when I'm going to listen. The more locked in I am, the funnier the episodes become. In my view, it's hard to appreciate the cleverness and the uniqueness of what you guys have created if you don't listen to the entirety of each podcast. Once again, I'm not trying to exclude anyone. It was just something that was hard for me to wrap my head around. Am I the fucked up one here? Am I too committed? Your thoughts, Mike?
I appreciate the people that stick with us through several Augusts a year and into the deep part of the pod where we're talking about whatever the fuck. But I when I listen to podcasts, even the ones I'm like pretty very consistent on, if I start to get annoyed by something they're saying or like feeling like, oh, they're just fucking around now, I will call it early sometimes for sure. And I'm sure there are people that do it for this as well, even if they're regular loyal listeners.
I would say that I know from back end, so Jack is right in one case. Our listen through the end is I would say is probably top 1% of popular podcasts. Like the amount of audience retention we have through a pod. It's not very normal for ours to have. That said, there's still, I think I have pods in my life. I have a few pods in my life that I listen to beginning and end of every one. But then there's the level, that's the elite class, right? That's like the elite QB class. Then everything else is, do I like the topic? And midway through, I don't like this, I'll tune out.
Yeah.
But we don't have very many guests, which I think is the other, like podcasts that are guest dependent are the ones that I'll check in on. I'll give it 10 minutes. If I don't like it, I'll check out. Sure. But the ones where it's just a couple of people who I like, I usually listen to the whole thing.
Sure, yeah. Can I add a fifth thing to MOC's vibe part?
You can add 7 if you want.
I would say, and we're now this is the last August pod, although of course September is also August.
Yeah.
I would say the Quentin Grimes RFA situation resolving itself in a way that is not
qualifying offer.
Deeply annoying. Whether that's a qualifying offer, whether that's like at the last second a deal gets done and Quentin Grimes is like visibly pissed and it's just like the relationship has been ruined and it's like only a matter of time before he has to get traded. I think ending that in a way that is like, all right, everybody, business is business, but that's behind us and we both feel good about this. And he's going to be here for a while, or at least like the entirety of this year, basically. And he's going to be a valuable member of the team. This guy that we got last year, that was one of the only saving graces of last year because Yabusele walked for nothing. Like the Quentin Grimes trade was like the highlight of the year, basically. And I don't want there to be yet another when it was Harden, when it was Simmons, whether it was like, the ghost of Jimmy Butler after they let him walk, like all that stuff. Just there's been so many palls over the team for like basically every season. And if everyone is feeling good and like invigorated and kind of young, and everybody's gonna be we'll see about PG and Embiid. I just don't want Grimes to be like put a damper on everything. And obviously Giddey and Cam Johnson and Kuminga have not signed yet either, so that's all up in the air. So they're all in the same boat for now. But eventually somebody's gonna sign, and probably someone's gonna be like, the vibes with this player in this organization are horrible, and I just don't want that to be the case with Grimes. I want it to be positive, and I want them to come to a workable solution and not try to like fuck him out of like $12 more that would have made him happier and felt like more a valued part of this team.
Yeah, I do want to note, because AU wrote a thing that I thought was well-meaning, but actually pretty wrong, was he wrote a thing that the Grimes thing is getting weird because he's not signed yet. Well, the other RFAs aren't signed. Like, there's no reason for them to sign. So if you're Grimes' agent, unless you are getting exactly what you asked for, what behooves you is just to wait to the absolute very end of the offseason to see if money opens up anywhere else. If it doesn't open up anywhere else to create pressure on the Sixers where you're going to get a contract, then you can go have those conversations in. But it doesn't make sense for anybody to move, I guess, at this point. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it yet.
I don't disagree with that. I just sort of want both sides to come together and be like, hey, you have something that you want. We have something that we want. Like, let's try to meet in the middle where we're both happy and this doesn't have to escalate to a bad place. If it does, then I think that would really damage some vibes going into the season.
I agree. And you know what, Mike? Good transition here. That would be bad vibes. You know what else also gives you bad vibes? Bad customer support with your company. Oh. The worst vibes. The worst. Nothing can make me hate your company like bad customer support. Nothing can make me hate your company like making me talk to your virtual assistant. Or, you telling me that I leave a message between this time and this time and you'll be sure to get back to me tomorrow and you don't do it. Or the customer support person on the other line clearly doesn't know anything about the company or my thing or how to solve my problem. If any of these things are you and your company, maybe you work at a company, you're close to decision-making at this, you should fix that. Ethos Support can help you fix it. ethosupport.com/Ricky. We love Ethos Support because they love us, but also because they are fixing your customer support issue. What you do is go to ethosupport.com/Ricky or have a conversation with Blair. Just text him, 240-593-2485. You can call him if you want, 240-593-2485. What Ethos Support does is puts together a customer support team for you that can handle any sort of customer support, whether it's social or whether it's email or whether it's phone or whether it's chat, whatever it is, but puts together a team that communicates clearly, knows your brand very well, can be 24/7 if you want. They can do it in 2 weeks. You don't have to sign a contract. So if you don't like it, you can walk away. And I think what a lot of companies do, like sometimes companies get too big to handle the amount of customer support they need. I think you should reach out to Ethos Support. And sometimes smaller companies say, well, I'm not big enough. So what I'll do is I'll just put the phone number and email address on the website and I'll handle it all myself. And I'm not big enough to have a customer support team. Both of those situations, Ethos can help you. No situation is too big. No situation is too small. And just remember, if you have good customer support, when people are reaching out to you, it's when they have a problem, they will become advocates for your company. And if you don't, they will be pissed off and tweet about it or put it on Facebook or put it on Instagram. You see it all the time. You don't want to be that. So if you want to upgrade your customer support, what I want you to do is reach out to Blair, call or text him 240-593-2485, or go to ethosupport.com/Ricky, ETHOS support.com/Ricky. This email came from Ben. Writes to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Call me naive, dumb, blinded by my love for him, but I have an optimistic theory on Joel's health. Hear me out. For as long as I can remember, the Sixers have been obtuse about injury statuses. Given this, it strikes me as odd that we all took the Sixers at face value when they said there was no surgery to be had for Joel. We heard this soundbite and all jumped to the conclusion that Joel's knee was arthritic, there was no cartilage remaining, and we better hope that this knee adjusts to the new normal as there is no fix. But Joel didn't seem to think this was the case. After all this time, why did everyone trust the Sixers statements and not him? To add this, I think we all forget Joel moved pretty well when he first came back from his meniscus surgery late in the 23-24 season, yada, yada, yada. What if he actually re-injured his knee against Orlando? So on and so forth. So I think it's important to note here it's not just what the Sixers said. It's what like independent doctors said. It is, and it's not just, I think you and I probably heard plenty of things, off pod. I think there's a possibility that this surgery helps a little bit, but more importantly, helps Joel's mindset into dealing with the knee issue and maybe playing through some of the stuff that he will need to play through in the beginning to get his knee right. But I think it is fantastically unlikely that a minor arthroscopic surgery, which is what he had, will solve the problem that he had last year.
I have no idea. I have no clue. I like that that he has taken plenty of time off. There was the discussion all last year where it was like, hey, he actually needs to play more, and that will be better for his knee. And I just never quite bought that, especially in a lost season when there's other parts of his body that he could seriously hurt. And so
I don't not buy it for what it's worth. I don't not buy it. Like I think that there's a possibility that like his body would have to build up a sort of callus to it, like and that playing on it more helps his body adjust. I guess in the context of last year, that makes it more difficult to explain, but I do think that there's a way in which him playing on it more could have prepared him better for a longer run.
Maybe. I mean, this is all theoretical because neither of us know fucking anything about what we're talking about, but he's played through so many injuries before. He's gutted through serious shit, and looked a lot better than he did last year playing through it. And if he was saying repeatedly at different points last year that he is not feeling like himself, he is too hurt to play, I just sort of trust him that it was more serious. I'm not saying like a minor scope is going to fix everything, but hopefully he has just spent the many months since we've seen him in a basketball setting getting his body right, and that there is some like improved shape type shit that happens. Like that's all we can hope for. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all hoping for improved shape type shit.
Yeah, that's all we need. But yeah, I don't know. I would love the benefit of last year. Obviously, sneaking away with the Edgecombe pick was huge. But the benefit of last year is when every decision that you make from the organization top to bottom is we're running out of time.
Yes.
And done with that kind of panic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you are going to cut corners and make mistakes,
mm-hmm.
and rush through things. The benefit of last year, for me, very early on last year, was this year is lost. This year is gone. It's going to give us nothing useful as far as what is happening, outcome wise. So now we have the benefit of time a little bit for at least this year. We can pull back and go, what is the most holistically healthy thing that we can do for the organization and every part of the organization the whole time? And I hope that whether that's Joel with the team or Joel with his own personal doctors or whatever, or, nutritionist or whatever the fuck, physical therapy, I hope that was like okay, now we've stopped the short-term must play soon, season happening now, ready for the playoffs type shit. And that plan, throw that out. We don't need it right now. And it's become okay, now we have more time to get into this and slow it down and make you more holistically healthy for the last couple years, whatever stretch of your career. That's my hope. And obviously the meniscus is a bummer, but I've said this so many times, but he was so good not that long ago after so many other injuries that were damaging to every part of his body. And so that is my very non-medical hope that, last year he looked particularly bad, and it's easy to say that's how he's always going to look for the rest of his career. and maybe that might be true, but it really wasn't that long ago where he was having the best season of his career, the year after he won an MVP. And I hope that the little gap year that he got to take for much of last year into now will help him salvage the last stretch of his prime.
I hope so too. Would be nice. We got a jigsaw from Joshua.
Play.
I will play this game.
Game we play.
I will play this game.
I miss you.
I will play this game.
I'm worried. Play.
I will play this game.
And after the game, they were interviewing him, and they said, how does it feel to win the ultimate game? And he said, if it's the ultimate game, why are they playing it again next year?
Boom. Just an amazing piece of production we've had for years that I put together, the jigsaw. So this came from Joshua. Here are your choices for the rest of your life. Choose your destiny, Joshua says. Every third time you have an argument with your spouse or partner, at the conclusion of the argument or disagreement, you need to leave the room and return in a baby costume. And you need to say to your partner, wah, wah, me sorry, I'm a baby, wah, wah, wah.
I do that anyway.
This needs to happen regardless of the size of the argument or how the argument concludes. Option 2. Once a year, when you're not in the proximity of your own home, you will pee your pants. You won't realize it's happening. Just one time a year, there will be no bodily indicators, just the sudden appearance of warm urine on the front of your pants. This may happen any time during the day when you are awake. This will not occur at night during sleep.
Yeah, man, baby costume apology.
Yeah, I would do baby costume apology too. Yeah,
100%.
And I'll tell you what, it would also force you to make sure that the argument is resolved, because if it's resolved, you come in the baby costume, everybody's laughing, haha, you're in the baby costume. If it ends sort of with everybody pissy and you come back in the baby costume, I don't think that's the right way to handle it. So,
sure. I'd rather it than peeing my pants during a pitch.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to be the pee in your pants guy?
No, I don't think that'll help.
Okay.
Any of my shit get bought.
All right. Final thing. This came from PJ. PJ says, hey there, some burning August questions. Basketball and non-basketball. Basketball question. I know we're a few weeks away from over-unders, but I'm curious if you think the threshold for a what the fuck moment has to increase. A few years ago, something like Andre Drummond retiring from the NBA to join the Big Three would be surprising, but at this point, it feels like somebody on the team would have to run for president and maybe win a primary to qualify as a what the fuck moment. Outside of being healthy, functional, and good, what could this team do to shock you? I think naturally we've changed the what the fuck moment parameters, without officially putting it there. Would you agree?
I honestly think we should retire it. I think we should just put it away and know that there's nothing that we can do. And whatever happens, we will have podcasts reacting to it.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me going with the under whenever I did.
Yes.
I think is whatever the reverse of Retweet Armageddon is.
Yes.
Do that.
All-time bad call when you went for the under there.
Oh, yeah.
And all-time bad call for me setting the over-under at the low number I said that. The non-basketball question, if a person with perfectly clean hands uses a plastic dog poop bag to pick up dog poop, completely avoiding direct contact with the feces, do you still consider their hands to be clean? Like, would you accept a handshake or food from them?
Well, food I think is different than a handshake. It's like what kind of food? like a bowl of cereal, probably, but a croissant, maybe not.
Yeah.
If I'm picking up dog food or dog shit with the
bag,
yep, I'm still washing my hands on the way out. There's no reason not to. And if I'm shaking hands with somebody who's walking their dog, I'm washing my hands afterwards. I think that's a reasonable assumption. You're out in the world. You don't know how much of that bag is being touched by dog shit. The dog shit is not the only thing that could make your hands dirty. Like you should, yeah.
Well, but you're on the inside of the bag if you're doing the.
But then you're
poop.
tying it up, and then you're swinging it around in your hand, and how much is all that shit.
I would say so. I always walk the dogs before I go to work. And they always poop, and when they do, I come into the house, wash my hands, go to work. But I have to admit, if I walk them in the middle of the day and I pick up poop and I come back in the house, I don't just go wash my hands. I'm just being honest.
That's fair.
You know, but I think it's sort of the same like when you pee in public. I always wash my hands. If I pee at home, I don't wash my hands every time I pee. Just being honest, you know.
That's fair. I do think dog shit wise, probably let's be safe collectively.
Yes, for sure. I agree. Maybe I'll start doing it at home.
Yeah.
All right. 1 August concludes. The next August begins. So next time we talk to you, Matt Quinn from Mountain Joy will be on the pod. Our first August podcast of September. And then we have Shane Battier coming up in about a week and a half. So some good guests coming up as we ramp up toward the season in our 18th month of August. We will talk to you next time. And remember, we'll have one more pod before the drop of the paper. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Are you done with TTP?
Yeah. No. Lick face.